After 60, your body does not suddenly stop needing good nutrition, but it does become less forgiving when you consistently give it too little protein, too little fiber, too few vitamins and minerals, and too many highly processed foods. And here is something that surprises many people. The foods you eat regularly after 60 can influence much more than your weight. They can help support your muscles, bones, heart, brain, digestion, energy, and ability to remain independent. The National Institute on Aging emphasizes that older adults need a variety of nutrient-dense foods and adequate protein as part of healthy aging. And researchers studying sarcopenia, the age-related loss of muscle strength and function, consistently emphasize that maintaining muscle is essential because strength is directly connected to everyday function and independence. So if you are over 60, I want you to think about your food differently, not as simply calories, not as something that fills your stomach, but as information and raw material your body uses every single day. Today, I'm going to count down 7 foods that deserve a regular place in your diet after 60. And stay with me until number 1, because the final food is incredibly simple, surprisingly affordable, and provides a combination of nutrients that can support healthy aging in several important ways. Before we begin, tell me your age and where you are watching from. And answer one more question for me. What is the one physical ability you never want to lose? Is it walking without assistance, getting up from a chair, climbing stairs, your groceries, traveling, playing with your grandchildren? Tell me in the comments. I read every comment, and your answer might encourage someone else to protect that same ability. Let's begin with number 7. Number 7 is Greek yogurt. If you are over 60, one of the first nutritional questions you should ask yourself is whether you are getting enough high-quality protein throughout the day. Protein provides amino acids that your body needs to maintain and repair tissues, including muscle. And this becomes particularly important with age. As we grow older, our muscles can become less responsive to small amounts of dietary protein. This is one reason older adults should pay attention to protein quality and distribution rather than assuming that a small amount of protein at dinner is enough. Greek yogurt can be an easy way to add protein to breakfast or a snack. But there is an important detail. Choose your yogurt carefully. Some flavored varieties can contain a lot of added sugar. Plain or low-sugar Greek yogurt can give you more control over what goes into the meal. Add berries. Add chopped walnuts, add a little cinnamon, or mix it with oats. Now you have something far more substantial than a sugary snack. And if you have lactose intolerance, dairy allergies, or another dietary restriction, there are alternatives that may work better for you. The point is not that Greek yogurt is magic. The point is that it is an easy vehicle for protein and other nutrients. And protein matters because muscle is not just about appearance. Think about the muscles in your legs. They help you stand, they help you walk, they help you climb stairs, they help you maintain balance. They help you catch yourself if you stumble. Your muscles are part of your independence. That is why food number 7 matters. But there is another food coming up that can support your body in a completely different way. And it is tiny enough to fit in the palm of your hand. Number 6 is nuts, walnuts, almonds, pistachios, and other nuts can provide a combination of unsaturated fats, protein, fiber, vitamins, minerals, and other plant compounds. And walnuts are particularly interesting because they contain alpha-linolenic acid, a plant-based omega-3 fatty acid. But don't misunderstand me. I'm not telling you that eating walnuts will prevent heart disease or guarantee that you live to 100. Healthy aging doesn't work that way. What matters is the overall pattern. If you usually reach for cookies, chips, or highly processed snacks between meals, replacing some of those foods with a modest serving of nuts can be a meaningful nutritional improvement. But portions matter. Nuts are nutritious, but they are also calorie-dense. You do not need a giant bowl. A small handful can be enough. And choose varieties that fit your health needs. If you are monitoring sodium, unsalted nuts may be a better choice. If chewing is difficult, nut butter can be an alternative, provided the ingredients fit your diet. Now imagine a woman named Linda. Linda was 68 and had developed a habit of eating very little during the day. because she was afraid of gaining weight. Breakfast was usually coffee. Lunch was sometimes just soup. And in the afternoon, she became extremely hungry and reached for processed snacks. Her doctor helped her rethink the idea that eating less was automatically healthier. She began building meals around protein, vegetables, fruit, whole grains, and modest amounts of healthy fats. One of her afternoon snacks became a small serving of nuts and fruit. She wasn't following a miracle diet. She was simply creating a more balanced pattern. Over time, she told her doctor that she had more confidence in her eating routine and was no longer constantly thinking about what she should or shouldn't eat. That is an important lesson. Healthy aging is not about starving yourself. It is about nourishing yourself intelligently. And now we move to number 5. Number 5 is berries, blueberries, strawberries, raspberries, blackberries. These colorful fruits provide fiber, vitamins, and numerous plant compounds, including polyphenols. And if your goal is to protect brain health as you age, this category of food deserves attention. But I want to be very careful here. No berry can guarantee protection from dementia. No food can promise perfect memory. Brain aging is complicated. Your blood pressure matters. Your blood sugar matters. Your cardiovascular health matters. Your sleep matters. Physical activity matters. Hearing health matters. Social connection matters, and your overall diet matters. Berries are simply one nutritious component of that larger picture, and they are easy to use. Add them to oatmeal, put them into plain yogurt. Eat them with a handful of nuts, or simply have a small bowl of berries as a snack. One of my favorite things about berries is that they can help you improve a meal without making it complicated. You don't need a special recipe. You just add them. And here's the curiosity loop I want you to remember. If you are over 60 and concerned about your brain, don't focus exclusively on brain foods. Your brain is connected to your heart, your blood vessels, your muscles, your sleep, and your entire metabolic system. What is good for your overall health can often support your brain as well. That is why the next food matters. Number 4 is oats. Oats are an excellent example of a simple food that can fit into a healthy aging diet. They provide carbohydrates for energy, fiber, and beta-glucan, a type of soluble fiber that has been extensively studied for its relationship with cholesterol levels. And this matters because cardiovascular health becomes increasingly important as we age. Oatmeal can also be an excellent base for a balanced breakfast. But here is where people sometimes go wrong. They take a nutritious food and turn it into a sugar-loaded dessert. Instead of adding several spoonfuls of sugar, try berries, try cinnamon, add walnuts, add chia or flax seeds if appropriate. And most importantly, consider adding a source of protein because oatmeal alone may not provide enough protein for your individual needs. You could combine it with Greek yogurt, have eggs alongside it, or include another protein source that fits your diet. Think of your breakfast as a team. Protein supports muscle. Fiber supports digestion and contributes to metabolic health. Whole grains provide nutrients and energy. Fruit adds vitamins, minerals, fiber, and plant compounds. Healthy fats can provide essential fatty acids and improve satiety. Now you are building a meal instead of simply eating one food. And that distinction becomes more important after 60, because when your appetite becomes smaller, every bite has an opportunity to provide nutrition. This is sometimes called nutrient density. You want more nutritional value from the food you eat rather than filling your plate primarily with calories that provide very little nutritional benefit. Now we arrive at number 3. And this one is especially important if your goal is to protect muscle. Number 3 is eggs. Eggs are nutrient dense and provide high-quality protein, along with a variety of vitamins and minerals. They are also incredibly versatile. Boiled eggs, scrambled eggs, eggs with spinach, eggs with tomatoes, eggs alongside whole grain toast. You can make them part of a balanced breakfast in many ways. And for older adults, the protein component is particularly relevant. Remember what happens as we age. Muscle can become less responsive to small doses of protein. At the same time, many older adults unintentionally eat less. Maybe food doesn't taste as good. Maybe cooking becomes difficult. Maybe appetite declines. Maybe someone lives alone and doesn't feel motivated to prepare a full meal. The result can be inadequate nutrition. And over time, inadequate protein and inadequate overall calories can contribute to loss of muscle mass and strength. That is why I want you to stop thinking about strength as something that happens only in the gym. Strength begins with what you give your body. Then you give your muscles a reason to use it through resistance exercise. Nutrition and movement work together. One without the other is not the whole picture. Now, if you have kidney disease or another condition requiring protein restriction, do not simply increase your protein intake because of something you heard online. Your nutritional needs are personal. Talk to your doctor or registered dietitian. That same principle applies to every food in this video. Healthy food is not automatically healthy for every person in unlimited quantities. Now let me tell you about a man I'll call Robert. Robert was 76. He had gradually stopped eating breakfast because he said he wasn't hungry in the morning. He also noticed that carrying grocery bags was becoming more difficult. At first he thought it was simply age. But his healthcare team looked at the bigger picture. His activity had decreased, his meals were smaller, and his protein intake was low. With professional guidance, he started eating more consistently and incorporated appropriate strength exercises into his routine. The goal wasn't to make him look like an athlete. The goal was to help him stay capable. Months later, Robert told his doctor something that said everything. He said, "I don't feel younger. I just feel more capable." That is exactly what we should be aiming for after 60. Not pretending we are 30, protecting the abilities we still have. And now we move to number 2. Number 2 is leafy green vegetables, spinach, collard greens, Swiss chard, and other dark leafy greens can provide fiber, folate, vitamin K, carotenoids, magnesium, and other nutrients. They can be eaten raw in salads, cooked into soups, added to eggs, mixed into beans, or incorporated into countless meals. And there is another benefit. They are generally low in calories compared with the amount of nutrients they provide. That makes them useful when you want your diet to become more nutrient dense. But there is an important medication consideration. If you take warfarin or another medication affected by vitamin K, do not suddenly make a major change in your intake of leafy greens without discussing it with your healthcare professional. This does not mean leafy greens are bad. It means consistency and individualized medical guidance matter. And this is something I want you to remember throughout your entire healthy aging journey. Do not chase extremes. Do not go from eating almost no vegetables to suddenly consuming huge quantities because someone online said a particular vegetable detoxes your body. Your liver and kidneys already handle detoxification. Your job is to support your body with a balanced diet and healthy lifestyle. And now we have reached number 1. This is the food I especially want you to remember. Number 1 is fatty fish, salmon, sardines, trout, herring, and other oily fish can provide high-quality protein and omega-3 fatty acids such as EPA and DHA. These fats have been extensively studied for their relationship to cardiovascular health and other aspects of human health. Fatty fish can also be a useful alternative to heavily processed meats. Imagine 2 dinners. One is highly processed meat, refined carbohydrates, and very few vegetables. The other is salmon with vegetables and a high-fiber whole grain. The difference is not about one meal magically changing your health. It is about the pattern you repeat. And that is the secret behind everything we are discussing today. Healthy aging is not built from one perfect meal. It is built from hundreds and thousands of ordinary meals. You don't need to eat salmon every single day. In fact, variety is important. The title says your body needs these 7 foods every day, but what your body truly needs every day is a consistent supply of essential nutrients. These 7 foods are practical examples of foods you can incorporate regularly, not a prescription to eat every one of them every single day. Rate your proteins. Eat different vegetables. Choose different fruits. Include different whole grains. Use a variety of healthy fats. And make your diet colorful. That variety is one of the simplest ways to increase the range of nutrients and plant compounds you consume. And there is something else I need you to hear. Food cannot do everything. You can eat salmon every week and still lose strength if you spend your entire day sitting. You can eat berries and still struggle with brain health if your blood pressure is uncontrolled and you never exercise. You can eat eggs and yogurt and still lose muscle if you never challenge your muscles. Nutrition is one part of the equation. Movement is another, SIPE is another, social connection is another, medical care is another. And this is why I want you to think of these foods as tools, not cures. You are building a foundation. Maybe tomorrow morning you start with eggs and berries. At lunch you add leafy greens. Later you have a small portion of nuts. At dinner you choose fish. Maybe another day you have oatmeal and yogurt instead. You do not have to make every meal perfect. You simply need to make better choices more often. Now I want you to think about your legs. Your legs are carrying you through life. Every time you stand up, they work. Every time you climb stairs, they work. Every time you walk across the room, they work. Every time you catch yourself after losing your balance, they work. And if you want to protect your legs after 60, nutrition and resistance training need to work together. If your healthcare professional says exercise is appropriate for you, strength training can include resistance bands, weights, machines, or body weight movements such as controlled sit-to-stands. You don't need to lift enormous weights. You need an appropriate challenge. And if you have balance problems, significant pain, dizziness, chest discomfort, or a medical condition that affects exercise, seek professional guidance before starting a new exercise program. Now, let's bring the 7 foods together. Greek yogurt gives you a convenient, protein-rich option. Nuts provide protein, fiber and unsaturated fats. Berries provide fiber and a variety of plant compounds. Oats provide fiber and beta-glucan. Eggs provide high-quality protein and important nutrients. Leafy greens provide fiber, vitamins, minerals, and plant compounds. And fatty fish provides high-quality protein and omega-3 fatty acids. But don't turn this into a rigid checklist. Your body doesn't know whether you ate exactly 7 foods today. It responds to your overall nutritional pattern. If you miss one food, nothing terrible happens. If you eat a food you enjoy that isn't on this list, you haven't failed. What matters is the direction you are moving. And perhaps you are watching this thinking, "Doctor, I'm already 70. Is it too late?" No, you cannot reverse the calendar, but you can still make meaningful changes to your habits. Perhaps you're 65. Perhaps you're 75. Perhaps you're 85. The goal is not to become a different person overnight. The goal is to help the body you have today function as well as possible. Maybe you start by adding one protein-rich food to breakfast. Maybe you add a serving of berries. Maybe you replace an ultra-processed snack with nuts. Maybe you put leafy greens on your dinner plate. Maybe you choose fish instead of processed meat. One decision, then another, then another. And eventually those decisions become your normal routine. If you have found this information useful, take a moment to like this video. Share it with someone over 60 who cares about staying strong and independent. And subscribe to Longevity Mastery for more practical, evidence-based information about healthy aging, nutrition, muscle strength, mobility, brain health, and longevity. And I want you to comment one word below, strong. Then tell me your age, where you are watching from, and what you most want to stay strong enough to do. I read every comment because your goal matters. Maybe you want to walk around your neighborhood. Maybe you want to travel. Maybe you want to dance at your granddaughter's wedding. Maybe you want to work in your garden. Maybe you want to carry your own groceries. Maybe you simply want to get out of your chair without needing to push yourself up with both hands. Never underestimate that goal. Independence is not one giant achievement. It is the collection of little abilities that allow you to live your life on your own terms. And those abilities are worth protecting. Your muscles need protein. Your heart benefits from a healthy dietary pattern. Your brain needs adequate nutrition, movement, sleep, and stimulation. Your digestive system benefits from fiber. Your bones need adequate nutrients and physical activity. And your entire body benefits from variety. So please don't look for the one miracle food. Look at your entire plate. Look at your entire day. Look at your entire lifestyle. That is where the real power is. And perhaps the most important thing I can tell you today is this. Getting older does not mean you have to stop investing in yourself. You may move more slowly than you did decades ago. You may need more recovery. You may have limitations that you didn't have when you were younger. But there is still enormous value in taking care of the body you have. There is still value in eating nourishing food. There is still value in strengthening your legs. There is still value in protecting your balance. There is still value in challenging your brain. There is still value in getting outside. There is still value in laughing with someone you love. And there is still value in waking up tomorrow and choosing to participate in your own health, because longevity is not simply about adding more birthdays. It is about preserving the quality of the years between those birthdays. It is about being able to walk, to think, to remember, to reach, to carry, to climb, to travel, to connect, to live. So tomorrow, don't worry about changing everything. Choose one food from this list. Add it to your next meal. Then choose another and keep building. Your future self may not thank you with words, but perhaps your future self will thank you by allowing you to take one more walk, climb one more staircase, travel one more place, hold someone you love, or simply remain independent a little longer. And that is a goal worth working toward. Remember, scientific references supporting the nutrition and healthy aging information discussed in this video are available in the description. Your body may be older, but it is still responsive. It still needs nourishment. It still needs movement. It still needs stimulation, and it still deserves your attention. So don't ask yourself, am I too old to start? Ask yourself, what can I do today to make tomorrow a little stronger? Start with your next meal, then your next walk, then your next morning, one small decision at a time, because healthy aging isn't created by one perfect day. It's created by the choices you repeat for years. And your next choice can begin today.